Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. We're on 200 subscribers right now. Baby steps still move us forward. Thank you for all your subscriptions. Thank you for watching my videos, liking, commenting. I really appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. So, this is probably the most hardest video to shoot, and simply because I'm going to be talking about the death of my son and how I lost my son at birth. I've been postponing to shoot this video. I've been trying to find the right time and all of that, but there can never be a right time because what's done is done, and we just have to learn to live with the pain. And yeah, njenge-ambulance isikhala siyaphambili, So yes, do give this video a massive thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below, let me know what you think. The usual. Let's get right into it. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. I'm trying to find the most comfortable position to shoot this video. It's so hard, but I just want to briefly talk about what had happened. So last year, 2020, in June, if not July, I found out I was pregnant with my second baby. So obviously I was excited. At the same time, I had like mixed emotions. I was like, am I ready to be a parent in this pandemic? How did it happen? But you know how it happens. I mean, Modlara Navafana, and that's the outcome. So yeah. Where do I start? I'm gonna try to be as brief as possible. I'm gonna try not to cry and all of that. And yeah, so I found out I was pregnant in July 2020. And throughout the pregnancy, I think from second trimester, I became so sick. At first, it started as eczema on my skin, and then it became so worse to a point where I had to do blood tests to check what the hell that was. But even doctors couldn't figure it out, nurses couldn't figure it out. All blood results were clear, and excuse me, it was just a mystery, and so because it wasn't known what it was medically, they couldn't even treat it, so I had to deal with the pain of that itchiness. I had to deal with sleepless nights. I had to deal with the burning sensation on my skin, because at first it started on my neck and then it went down to my chest, my arms, my back, my legs, and even my face, So from second trimester, I did not enjoy the pregnancy. And I never imagined myself to have a baby boy. And luckily for me, I dreamed the gender of my kids. So with Letabo, I dreamed a girl and she's a girl. And with Lisedi, I dreamt a boy and he was a beautiful baby boy. So December, my skin condition became so worse. Like my skin condition became so bad that I just felt like dying. I was just like, Lord, why am I going through this? I even prompted doctors to induce me or do a C-section because I was due in January. So December, I was just like, docs, just get this baby out so you guys can treat whatever this is, whatever the hell this is, but they refused. They refused. They refused to do a C-section on me, and they only said they'll do a C-section on me after 42 weeks. That's the only time they can actually do a C-section. And then at 41 weeks, my son died. So, yeah, long story short, the week that he passed on was the last week of Jan 2021, this year. Yeah. So he was born on the 29th of Jan. So on the 27th of Jan, because I was like 9 months, 1 week, I went to my sonographer because where I used to attend antenatal, I kept being turned away after I've had like labor pains. So they were like false labor pains. That's what they called. But the treatment and the harshness of everything, of how everything was handled. I mean, they could have just checked if the baby is not distressed or anything. And why does this false labor keep happening, But no one seemed to care. So, 27th of Jan, 2021, I went to my sonographer. And I got there and she said to me, "You're still pregnant?" I said, "Yes, let's check this baby out. I don't know why is he not coming, I keep getting returned from the clinic, from the hospital, people telling me that I'm not ready to give birth." So I got on the bed and we did the sauna. And the sauna did confirm 41 weeks. And the baby's fetal heart rate was 145 beats per minute. I remember that vividly. Well, I still have the scan as well, so we couldn't figure out what was the problem. Like, why is this baby not coming? However, my sonographer, being the spiritual person that she is, after the scan, she took out her white duke and she kneeled in front of me and said to me, "If you don't mind," and my husband and my daughter were there as well. Yeah, they were. and she said, "If you don't mind," she told this to my husband, "So if you don't mind, I'd like to pray for your wife," and she kneeled in front of me, she held my belly and she prayed. She prayed and she was asking God, can this baby just come now? I mean, it's time. Why is this not happening? And something in me was just like, I don't know how to feel or how I felt. But a week before I gave birth, I had a vision that for some reason my son is not going to make it. And I told my grandmother, I said to her, "Ke lorile lesedi a tlhokofetse, like like I had a vision that my son is not going to make it." And she said to me, "Don't tell anyone else, just pray, let's just pray about it. And no, God can allow this to happen." I said, "Yo, it's very scary. I don't even know how to act." So after that woman prayed for me, she gave me a glass of water. I drank the glass of water and she said to me, "Babe, just go to the hospital as soon as you feel any pains, don't delay it." I said, "No problem, it's fine. Of course I'll do that. I've been going to clinic and the hospital and they've been turning me back. So yeah, I will do it again." So on Friday, I started feeling pains Thursday night. But I wanted them to be a bit like closer to each other. So Friday, early hours of Friday, the 29th of Jan, the pains were coming closer to each other. The labor pains were getting closer to each other, like 10-15 minutes apart. And I told my husband, I said, you know what, it's time. And I had a show. I was starting to bleed a bit. I said to him, it's time, let's go. I was not excited. For some reason, something in me was not excited. So we drove to Rahima Musa. I was not on medical aid then, so my antenatal was at Discovery's clinic in Florida, and we drove to Rahima Musa because Discovery lost so much patience with me that they said to me, don't ever come back here, just go straight to Rahima Musa should you have labor pains again. Wow. So I went to Rahima Musa and it was full, like it was full to capacity. I'm sure that night 10 women gave birth on the floor because the labor ward was full. The queue to go into labor ward was packed. The ladies were in pain, and I was like, God, I'm not about to queue here. I told my husband, I said, you know what, let's just go to Bara. Let's rush to Bara. We rushed to Bara, and we got there around 3 a.m. I think. And Bara being Bara, guys. I was only attended to around 7 a.m. So I got there at 3 o'clock, sat there on the benches for like 4 hours, and I felt like I was just gonna give birth on the floor, or on that bench, because I was bleeding so much and no one was paying attention to me. So 7 o'clock, one of the doctors could see that I've been sitting there for a while, even though he was taking a nap on the chair as well. So I got on the bed, like he said, and he put me on a scan. And he said, there's something that I'm not happy with here. Let me go call my senior. I mean, I know how to read a scan or how to read an ultrasound or how to interpret it. And I could see at that time, for the first time, doing a scan at that time, that there's no heartbeat here. So he called his senior. His senior came and did the sonar. And there was no heartbeat. And they checked the umbilical cord. There was no pulsation there either. And that senior broke the news to me, and he said, there's no heartbeat. Your baby is gone. I cried. Like I just burst into tears. I said, wow, this moment is happening. Yeah, like it was bad. Because I was praying, man. I was praying that all this doesn't happen. But it happened, and that senior also called his juniors, like his junior doctors, his interns, to come see the scan. I don't know what was so fascinating that he had to come and show everyone the actual sonar. And they broke the news to me, and I cried. All I could do was just cry and cry and cry and say, God, why? Why would I carry a baby to term and lose him last minute? I don't get it. I don't have any conditions that may interfere all of this, and so at that moment I asked the doctor what happened, like why is my son dead? And the doctor said, when they were checking on the placenta, on the sonar still, they said, well, we see a clot on the placenta. I said, clot? And they're like, do you have clotting disorders? I said, I don't have any clotting problems. I don't have any clotting problems. I've been doing my bloods since day one of finding out about this pregnancy, and I do not have any conditions that I do not know about. So they took bloods to check if I don't have any clotting problems or any high D dimers. And my results came back normal. So they moved me to labor ward. When they moved me to labor ward, it was around 7:20, 7:30, somewhere there. And these doctors were so sympathetic, you know. They were like, yo, we can't really figure out what killed your child. I mean, this clot is just abnormal. Like, we've never seen such a thing. Funny thing, this is what doctor actually said to me. This is black magic. And that's another story. It's a story for another day. But at that moment, I knew. I already known the black magic he's talking about and who did what for my son to be in that state, you know. And some things you don't believe in until they happen to you. So fine, I went to labor ward. The pain was still excruciating, and it's like the nurses, they left me to die, literally to die with my unborn dead baby. I got there, I think it was cubicle 13, and I was never attended to. They just left me there the whole day. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, 12. No food, nothing. Like nothing, guys. The only person that came was the nurse who took my vital signs, and my blood pressure was so low at that time. It was like 80/60. I didn't have a drip up. The doctor put in a short line from that time when he did a sonar. And I'm sure he had prescribed fluids for me when I get to labor ward, but none of them gave me IV fluids. So at 12:30, I could literally feel my soul leaving my body. This is just after midday, and I'm like, the pain is gonna kill me. And my blood pressure keeps dropping. And I'm bleeding like crazy, and no one is attending to me. I call the sisters, they just busy on their phones and they're ignoring me. I'm like, God, this is not happening. As if losing this child already is not bad enough. So I stand up, I go to the cardiac table in that cubicle because I see my file there. I'm like, there must be something for pain. I've been asking for something for pain, and no one is giving me anything. So when I open my file, there's a prescription there that's written morphine, Tramal, and Panado. And none of these medications are given to me. I mean, it's so painful to push a dead baby out than a baby that's alive, you know, because a baby that's alive assists you in a way. But a dead baby, they rip your vagina apart. And that's exactly what Lisette did to me. So one of I think it was a ward secretary, she reported me because when I stood up, I just bled on the floor. And I went straight to my file to check if I'm not getting anything for pain. And this lady said to me, called this nurse and said, your patient is busy with her file. And that nurse came finally, and she said to me, "What are you doing?" I said to her, "Here's a prescription. I've been asking for something for pain, and you guys have been ignoring me." And she said, "Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, you're right. Here it is." And then she went to God knows where to get normal saline to inject me. That lady thinks I don't know the side effects or the medication that was prescribed to me. I mean, I'm 100% sure that lady just injected me water, you know. Anyway, excuse me. So around 1:45, I could feel this baby coming now. So I call her. I say, "Sister, I'm giving birth now. I'm crowning. I can feel the baby coming." And she said to me, "Don't you dare push that baby. You're still far dilated. You on 5 centimeters. Don't push out that baby." I said, "You know what? Screw you. You're not even assessing me. When last did you check how far dilated I am?" So my water burst at that time out. At that very time, and the head came out. And I had no assistance, so I pushed the baby myself. And I could feel my vaginal walls tearing, literally tearing apart. And that's when she came running, but it was too late because I had pushed the baby out by myself. A 3.7 kilogram baby boy. All right. Sure, it was the worst experience, guys. Worst experience. And then after that, she left still. After she saw that I delivered the baby myself, she left. So I took my phone, took a photo of the baby. And then she came, I don't know after how long, to put the baby in the receiving sheet and wiped the baby, wiped the blood and the vernix. And what else did she do? Well, what I remember for sure is that she left the baby with me there the whole day on the bed, the whole day. Only removed the baby to the baby court, I think, when the doctor came to see me. And when my husband also came to see the baby, she had just left him there with me. Of which I didn't mind because, I mean, for me, that was closure. But if it was anyone else, rightfully, they're not supposed to be doing that, like leaving you with the cops on the bed the whole day. It's very traumatic. But for me, it wasn't so traumatic. I mean, I was trying to bond and I was looking at this boy and I didn't have strength. I mean, till this day, I beat myself up for not doing CPR on my child, but I was too weak. I was too weak. I was five to death even. And then, the placenta also didn't want to come out. So the placenta came out after an hour or so, together with my uterus. So the placenta was so stuck to the uterus that when the placenta came out, it actually came out with my uterus. Crazy, I know. Doctor came, he managed to detach the placenta from the uterus and check if the uterus is clean, if I may put it like that. And then he cleaned up the uterus himself as well and shoved it back in. Guys, at this point, I was not even feeling pain. I was just bleeding and scarred already from losing my son. So at this point, nothing hurt me physically. Nothing. I was just feeling the pain of losing a child at that time. And I gave birth at 1:45 during the day by myself. My uterus was out, attached with the placenta, and I was only sutured. My vagina was only sutured 6:30 in the evening with non-absorbable sutures. I had 20 stitches on my labias from the tears of delivering a 3.7 kg baby boy. I had 20 sutures done with non-absorbable sutures, and I removed those sutures myself a week later because I just didn't even want to go back to hospital because I felt like, you know what, I would die this time. I was given a second chance at life, and I had to just sterilize a scissor at home and take a mirror, put it down there, and just cut, and just be brave enough to cut these sutures. Because when they suture your vagina, they're supposed to use the absorbable sutures, but in this case, I don't know what was up. So yeah, I'm glad I managed to tell the story without crying. It still hurts. It hurts me so much, and I can never get over it. I mean, the elders have told me, no, in order to heal, you need to make another baby. Please, the pain won't go away. I've been doing therapy. At first, it was my husband and I together. We did therapy together. It didn't work. I've been doing therapy alone as well. And I mean, the fact that you've experienced this thing, it's traumatic, guys. And you can't really get over it. Losing a child is the worst pain ever. Ever. I don't wish it upon my worst enemy. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. Maybe I'll have a documentary on this and a few reenactments in future. For now, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. Thank you guys for watching. I love you so much. Mwah.